I think the best place to start is with affiliate. Talking about how we see social media. Building on the fact that one of the early comments was, well, it's two-way communication. But social media is not a new concept.
Social media is really not new. Social media is literally as old as the media. Anybody sent a postcard? World War II postcards were pre-printed up. They were like tweets that you just had to hit a button for. In World War I, you're in the trench in France, your commander came by, you signed the bottom of a postcard that said, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm well. You flipped it over, you put your address on it, you sent it. And then Mom and Dad had an equivalent set of postcards that they could send back to you to say, you're doing really great, make sure you keep your feet clean. Postcards. Teletype, same thing. You can go forwards and backwards in media. As soon as the media became interactive, right? Storytelling around the fire, postcards, telegraphs. As soon as two people could chat over a channel, they have. And it's just the scale of it that's really changed.
One thing that I was struck by in the beginning was, how new social media is, yet how familiar it is. And there was a frustration expressed about getting the CEO, the leadership, on board. And this plays into the whole idea of the newness of social media and the fact that it is quite generationally complex. Yes, we have our parents and our children, in my case, and their friends all together online now. And when those people are professional associates, then they're part of our social media world as well. And the individual person and the company brand become much more interesting, I think, and complex, really culturally, than they ever have been before. So I think it's important to understand that some of the old rules that were there, like you don't wear your white sneakers after Labor Day, you don't wear your
Apparently, crazy American rule, I think.
are gone. They're simply gone. They're over. It's history. That was then. This is now.
It disrupts the normal flow of the hierarchy.
No question. It's a flattener. So you need to understand, I think, that the CEO, who is likely to be of another generation, might be, maybe doesn't use Twitter, maybe isn't on Facebook, maybe thinks that that's a bunch of frou-frou stuff that's going to go away. I think it's going to be a matter, almost it's going to take a few years, but we don't have a few years. And frankly, those brands don't have a few years. So my question is, how do we get that message out to them? Well, we show them. We don't tell them, right? We show them that it works.
So sometimes the conversation isn't happening. I think, we talked about selling it to the CEO, and there's proof that the conversation is going on these social channels. Sometimes it's not. I've worked with IBM in the past. I guess, we're all connected in that way. And we've actually built communities around specific topics. So, we built a community that was focused on the CIO because, they're on LinkedIn, but they're not really using it. The generational gap, they have no idea what Twitter is. They're on Facebook, probably because their kids are on Facebook. But developing a destination where they can have those conversations, and going back to the sales cycle too, have those conversations in a lightly branded environment, so to speak. So we were pushing out IBM content, but we were also pushing out content from CIO Magazine and different research firms and things. So really providing that value, and then allowing IBM folks to enter that dialogue in a kind of safe way.
I'm just curious about how many people here are using social media heavily in their businesses.
I work for a cloud backup company where we use all the different social networks. We use LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. We have a running blog that we post on every week. And we've noticed that LinkedIn is definitely where our target market is, so that's my home base. We have a company page and a group page. And we're trying to build more of the discussion there. And usually if they find the discussion interesting, they'll come and check out our website. And then it goes from there. Sometimes they'll post back, sometimes they'll check out our Twitter then, sometimes they'll come check out our blog. Our blog is one of our top 5 referral sites for our regular website, so that's been a good one for us too.
People taking action is the only thing that really matters. You can have 1 billion followers, but if nobody clicks on the link, it's of no value.
Exactly.
And if there is a link there, but you haven't instrumented the link with Bentley or something so you can measure it, it's still of no value because you really can't tell. And so having those orchestrated pieces so that you can say, my blog is one of my top 5 referrer sites. Well, that's really valuable because you know that at least 20% of your investment should be there.